All right, welcome back to another show. We appreciate you coming back as always. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. Liking, subscribing is very helpful to us, so if you can do that, we'd appreciate it. Sharing is a big thing, too. Share it with a friend. Listen to us on your daily walk. When you're at work, if you're on a forklift. I heard we're good on a forklift.
Really?
No, I didn't heard it, but it sounded good when I said it. So, why not? I want to thank Adam Chubbuck with Douglas Realty in Pasadena, Maryland. I know Adam listens to the show while he's in his office. TACMD.com, that's TACMD.com. If you need a real estate agent in the Maryland and Virginia area, found out doesn't do Pennsylvania.
Okay.
But he can direct you in the right place if you need an agent in Pennsylvania. Found that out because we're looking at places possibly for my mother-in-law for the eventual day when sad day when if my father-in-law ends up passing on. So luckily he's in better health now. He had a medicine list, like it was like a CVS receipt.
Before my father-in-law passed away, he had quite the medicine list as well, and it's wild when you look at that and you're like, and then if you go and like this was, I ran it before AI was a thing, but you go and check the things and see there's all kinds of stuff that's contraindicated. There's stuff in there that it's like none of these guys are talking to each other. None of these doctors, these specialists are talking to each other.
Well, he had 3 drugs doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Like they would just throw a drug at him without checking to see if he already had a drug to do the same thing. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if I mentioned it on the show, but so they were over for Christmas. My father-in-law wasn't feeling good. Comes in the door, he goes, sits on the couch, and he ends up falling asleep for like an hour and a half, just on the couch. Not unusual for him, but it was unusual for him to happen like right then.
Yeah. I do that.
Well, yeah. I mean, Christmas Day, you have some turkey, everyone's falling asleep.
Yeah.
But this was like almost immediately from the time he jumped in the door.
Right.
Just went right to the couch, fell asleep, pretty much. And just when he woke up, he was really nauseous. He's a diabetic, so his blood sugar was super low. Ended up thrown up. So we called an ambulance, had him taken to the local hospital, and they drained some urine and put him on an IV, sent him home. But they didn't look at like his medical history for the most part.
Yeah, they don't. Because and we've gone on numerous rants about the medical system in the United States, but they don't look at root causes. They just look at symptoms. Now, in the emergency department, that's kind of what the emergency department does.
Yeah, I know.
Like, you're going to come in, hey, I've got this issue. They're going to treat the issue and then refer you back to your primary for follow-up and whatever. That's the one that should be looking at the root causes. But sometimes you want to think, like, okay, if the check engine light's on, why? They just turn the check engine light off. That's all they're doing.
Yeah. And so he ends up going back home, has to go back to the ER, but one he's familiar with, back at home. And he's in the hospital, and they hold him for observation. And that's when they started looking at things. Now, luckily, my brother-in-law works at the hospital like 1 or 2 days a week. Mm-hmm. He does speech therapy for patients or evaluations or whatever. So he has access to the medical records. So he was looking. He's like, "We need a pharmacological review."
Yeah.
And so they looked and went, "Well, and that's when they found out out of all these medicines, there were 3 doing one thing, 2 doing another, 2 doing another. So he's just doubled up on so many meds. When you're on that many meds, you're going to be nauseous.
Yeah.
And it's going to lead to fluid retention. And so we kind of think that the medication is what's kind of screwing him up right now.
Right.
But it's all these medical systems have these databases of our medical history and our but from what I'm seeing, it looks like they're really segmented. Like this one doctor uses this system. This doctor uses like my chart. This one uses like the Epic system.
Sure.
This one's using like some kind of portal thing. I thought that we were supposed to have one medical record.
But wasn't that part of the Affordable Care Act? Was
Part of
switching
it,
into electronic charts and
right? But they didn't say it all had to be in one medical
that-
chart.
yeah. So none of this, like, because I have two separate apps on my phone. One's my chart. One is, it might be Epic. I don't remember what it is. So like University of Maryland Medical System is in one.
That's in my chart.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then my primary is in another one.
Yeah.
I don't remember which one it is. But Luminous is in my chart, so I can switch back and forth between the two of them.
Right.
In the same app, which is really cool. But why can't they all just be in one?
But like my gastro doctor is not in there. My non-primary care doctor is not in there. So like I go to two other doctors. Oh, my ENT. This is the weirdest thing. My ENT is in Anne Arundel Medical Center, which is Luminous.
Yeah.
But their system isn't my chart in Luminous. It's like they're using a separate one. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, I should be able to go into one place and access my entire medical chart. Or my medicines, my doctor visits, prescription, everything should be in one place. And to me, that should be mandated. Now, it's not saying who. I'm not saying who should get the contract. I'm not saying who. I'm not saying, like, let the competition play out.
Yeah.
But I should still be able to go to one place. And if there's multiple, fine. Send it to multiple, but whichever one I log into should have all my information.
Sure. That makes so. For example, I think my urologist is in one, and then another. So you get blood work done for this doctor. Oh yeah, you get blood work done. Well, I just did it.
Dude, LabCorp, that's another one.
Yeah.
They have their own web portal.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes they input, like, the doctor, like, they'll send it to the doctor, and the doctor will input it in.
Yes.
But LabCorp doesn't do it. Like, there's only two major blood people. LabCorp and Quest.
Yeah.
You're telling me you guys can't figure that shit out
Right.
and put it into my chart? Or whatever app. I don't care. Like, I'm used to my chart. I would like it to be my chart, but if it's not my chart, I don't care.
Yeah.
I think Epic runs my chart. I think they're the same. But whatever. But I mean, like, there's like Heal or Heal Now. There's that one. Then there's just random web portals.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like,
And then
come
for
on.
us on the users on the user end of it, it's 18 million passwords to remember, and all this different stuff. So
I gave up on passwords, dude. I use a password keeper now.
yeah.
I'm just looking here because I have a folder for healthcare in my phone. I just want to see how many apps I got. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have about 7.
Okay.
7 health apps, dude. And that's not even including the ones that are outside of that folder I put it into.
Yep.
I mean, I probably have another 2. Like, there's another one, so that's 8. And some of them are for televisits, right?
Uh-huh.
They don't all use the same televisit app. So I got to have 3 different televisit apps. Like, for if I want urgent care through my insurance, I have to use CloseKnit, so that's one. Telemed, I think, is another one. Like, and you have to use the app. You can't just go through the web browser on your phone. It's like, fuck, man. Like,
So I've got one for insurance, one for prescriptions, LabCorp, MyChart, Athena Patient. Yeah. So I've got a bunch too. So it's then you forget which one's which. But
it's a pain.
yeah.
Which, by the way, this is on topic for today's episode. We're going to talk about our health in general. Again, if you need real estate help, go to Adam Chubbuck, TACMD.com. That's TACMD.com. Kind of didn't finish off that promo for him.
Yeah.
My bad, Adam. Got a little mid-roll.
Yeah.
But, so we're going to give an update on both of our health. I think mine's probably a little more complicated. I've gained a lot of weight back. Mm-hmm. I think I've gained close to 20 pounds back.
Oh boy.
So I was down 70 and I've gained 20 back. I think I'm teetering going back over 3.
Yeah.
Which, a little depressing.
Yeah.
But because I've been off the GLP-1 for about 45 days now. Now, a lot of it is I may have taken advantage of that. And I may have ate like shit again. Because I could, right? Which proves if you go off this thing and you haven't changed your eating habits, you're going to gain the weight back.
Yeah. I ate like shit yesterday. It was Valentine's Day yesterday. We went, and we took the kids with us. But we went to...
So we did too.
Yeah.
We had 30 other things going on.
Yeah.
It was Girl Scouts, birthday party, and pitching clinic. And then we just went out to dinner after that.
Yeah, we went to Senor Chili's. Actually, the oldest didn't come with us because he fell asleep and then didn't want to wake up and go. So we're like, all right, see you, dude. You're old enough to decide you're not going. So we took another kid with us that's not ours. Yeah. So I still got 3 kids, because he was hanging out. He's my youngest friend, so he came with us. And that kid's funny because he doesn't, he orders his food and then he doesn't eat. He doesn't eat any of it.
Slide your rug over a little bit.
And then,
keep going, but just slide it.
Yeah, so he was very, whatever. Kids, they don't eat. They're not all like mine that'll eat you out of house and home. So
do they just do quesadillas when they go there?
They got tacos. So we got them kids taco, or like the a la carte tacos. Mm-hmm. So it was like we just got 4 tacos and a side of rice for the 2 little ones, and then my middle son got this birria enchiladas, which were awesome. It was almost my wife is not adventurous when it comes to food, so my son wanted to try it, and I said, "Yeah." She goes, "Well, he's not going to like it. He's not going to know unless he tries it." I said, "It looks like." I told her, I said, "The way it's described, and I've made birria at home. It's delicious." I said, "It sounds like a Mexican French dip, is what it sounds like, the way they described it." And he inhaled it. He loved it. So I said, "See, but I ate way too much, and I actually had to get up and go to the bathroom there, and I was teetering on throwing up because the stomach was at capacity."
Yeah.
And I didn't eat the way I normally used to because I would have eaten everything on the table. In fact, I didn't even finish my own meal. I got the 3 taco combo. I ate 2 of them entirely. I ate the meat out of the 3rd one, didn't touch the rice or beans. And then after that, of course I have the chips and the salsa, and I'm going to partake in
That's where it gets you, because it doesn't seem like a lot. It doesn't seem like a lot when you're doing it.
Yeah.
But it adds up, and then you don't realize it. It kind of sneaks up on you.
Oh, sure. So I ended up going to the bathroom. I'm like, am I going to throw up? Because I would have preferred to, but I want to go in the bathroom and be like, because the bathroom in that place is kind of right between the bar and the dining room. Like, if you're letting it fly, everyone's going to hear it. So I don't want people to think, "God, this guy, is he that wasted, or was the food that bad?" Or, because it wasn't.
Right.
So I kind of, we walked out. There's another family there that we knew, so my wife's talking to them, and I was like, "We got to go. Like, we have to leave because I'm uncomfortable. We got to get out of here." So my procedure is still working, because every now and then I think, is it still working?
Yeah. Oh, it is.
The systems are a go. But yeah. So it was a nice night, and I decided it's Valentine's Day. I'm gonna get what I want, because I'm at that stage in the process where I can. There's no limits to the food that I can eat, except capacity. So I'll eat a slice of pizza, but it's not a pizza; it's a slice.
It's a slice, yeah.
So I had some margaritas too, which were really good, but it was just the capacity issue. Like, nope, the stomach threw the flag.
You were trying to top off the gasoline.
Yeah,
and it overflew.
Yep,
it was like, nope, this tank only holds so much.
Yeah, so that was my night, and especially with talking about the health and the procedures, like mine's still working. So,
well, I mean, my plan is to go back on it, hopefully sooner rather than later. So I don't know if we ever mentioned what happened. So I was having troubles driving.
Yeah, we talked about it a couple times.
Yeah, And so, essentially, if I was going down like a long, straight stretch of road, I'd get a little disoriented. And sometimes that would like trigger like the fight or flight tingles on the back of the arms and neck and all that stuff, and create like almost like a helmet feeling over the middle part of my head. So basically, if you drew a line from the top of one ear to the other, like that's where like you'd feel like lightheaded. And so, I was like, oh, this happened. This has happened before. It'll be fine. Like it'll come back to normal. And it did not. And it just kept getting progressively worse. And the bridges issue, like the bridges were worse. Like I was just getting more and more disoriented and lightheaded, and just was not comfortable still going over those areas. So first thing my doctor said was, okay, we're going to take you off the IBS-D drug, which was Lamodal at the time, and the GLP-1. Because the Lamodal long-term use, I mean, don't get me wrong, like, I had used it since my mid-20s. My mother had used it. It was definitely effective for what we needed it for. But apparently, I mean, it is an opioid, and there is some, I guess they call it anticholinergic effect. It has something to do with your brain, because it does break the blood-brain barrier, but it's a really small dose. It's not really supposed to affect you that much, but apparently once you hit 40 or 41, things can start to accumulate. All right. So remove those two drugs thinking it would stop the issue. It did not. And then my doctor one time was like, he goes, you've had sinus issues for a really long time, haven't you? I said, yeah, I see an ENT. Been seeing one for years. That's why I use the fluticasone spray and, go on allergy meds. And he's like, because what it sounds like you have a migraine issue. And so migraines, when people hear migraines, they think headaches. Well, it's not just headaches. It's part of your autonomic nervous system. Basically, the part of the nervous system that controls like breathing, functioning, that kind of thing. And it can become more sensitive, especially as you get over 40. That was another part. Once you get over 40, some things change. So this could have been a migraine issue. My sinus issue could have been a migraine issue the entire time, but it was mild. So I didn't have some of these other effects that I'm having now. So he was like, well, let's try some stuff. So the first thing we tried was like a low dose of something called Ubrelvy, which is a migraine med, but we used 50 milligrams, which apparently doesn't do jack shit. He was like, you were supposed to take both samples, and I didn't. I took one. So I was supposed to take 100. I took 50. He's like, that didn't work. He goes, but all right. He goes, I'm going to put you on something called nortriptyline. Now, nortriptyline is supposed to kind of reset your autonomic nervous system. Now, why are we treating the autonomic nervous system? Because migraines are tied to your autonomic nervous system. It's part of that. It's part of that system. It's not just headaches. It's nerves. Okay. Excuse me. So I go on 10 milligrams of that. Make sure I'm not going to explode, because I have horrible fucking reactions to medicine. And so, no reactions. I mean, they're like, reading it, you're supposed to have like vivid dreams, sleeplessness that turns into sleepiness. Like reading it, I'm like, what the fuck? It's supposed to do this and then reverse it and then do this and then reverse that. Like, what the? The worst one that I've had is like dry mouth. I'll live with that. So I got a little bit of dry mouth and did it for 14 days, because it doesn't apparently take full effect until about 14 to 20 days. And I was like, well, it seems a little bit better. Like I was able to drive down the long straight stretches, but the bridges still gave me issues. And some of the long straight stretches gave me stumps issues still. He's like, okay, we're going to bump up to 20. 10 is a starter dose. 20 is somewhat therapeutic. And if we have to, we can go to 30, which is therapeutic. Okay, so I've been on the 20 milligram dose for another 14 days. Still have some issues going over the bridges. Now, my test bridge is the Naval Academy Bridge. Rather, the Severn Bridge is the Conquer one. Like, we're trying to conquer that one.
Right.
The Naval Academy Bridge is one I know I can get over. But I do get some physical reactions. The whole thing is for me to be able to go over the bridge and not have any physical reaction to it. So I did one the other day. I'd say 2 days ago. So after dose 14, I think I'm on dose 16 now. Had some physical reaction to it. not horrible, able to get over, up and down, no problem. I wouldn't say no problem, but probably less than before. A little bit. But the other thing was there was no anticipatory shit. So, like, as I'm sitting there at the light, ready to turn left onto the bridge, I wasn't fucking firing on all cylinders. Mm-hmm. I was fairly calm. It was only until I got about a quarter of the way up that something started, peaked at the top, and as I got 3/4 of the way down, it kind of started to recede. So something is happening. So now it's probably we're going to go to 30, see what that does. But I got to wait another 14 days. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're talking like almost 3 months worth of work into this once you're toward the end of it. And then if it's not fully kind of gone, then they add in a migraine-specific drug. So then it's like this plus this. So, and Ubrelvy is one of those, but I think he's gonna switch over to like something called Nurtec. It's one you can take every other day as a preventative, versus Ubrelvy, which is you're supposed to take it as you need it.
Okay.
But I'm like, well, what if I don't know I'm gonna need it, and then I need it?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna just pop it and hope it works in 20 seconds. So the Nurtec seems to be the better option. But the problem is he doesn't want to add back in the GLP-1, and this is where this all ties back in. He doesn't want to add it back in the GLP-1 until we can kind of sort this out. It's like he doesn't want to add in another variable. So it's kind of like eventually I will go back on it, and I'll lose the weight again, but I'm not going to be starting from where I ended up.
Right.
And hopefully I don't just fucking gain it all back.
Yeah, that would be that, because I've done that.
Yeah.
Numerous times, in the various things, whether it's a crash diet, whether it's phentermine, whether it's back in the day when they had Xenadrin, like all of those different tactics and hacks and things I've tried, and you see some success, and then you gain the weight back, and it's depressing, and you always end up gaining your bounce back, your rebound is always higher than where you started. So, no, I get that 100%. You don't want to go back, because it is, you're like, man, I was here. There's a book, I forget the name, the story, but there's the name of the book, and I should probably know. It's essentially it's about a guy who he's the book says retarded, but it's an old book. Mm-hmm. Back when that term was acceptable.
Yeah.
Even though Donald Trump said you can call your friends retards again, but in any case.
Glad I got clearance.
Yeah, but that's how it is in the book. So he takes a medication that makes him not. It's a he's no longer disabled or differently abled or whatever the proper term is. You can all flame me if you want, but in any case,
handicapable.
Yeah. So he becomes fully functional, and then the effects of it wear off, and he goes back. And it's almost like, it would have been better for him to have never been than to go there and get back. And that's how I always felt. Like, I almost wish I had never lost the weight, because I knew that I knew what, like, the promised land is, and now I'm back to being fat ass again and wearing 60-inch pants and, can't walk up the steps. And so now that I'm in a more permanent, and now this isn't a fix, it's a tool, but one that I can manage, I've had really good success with. Like, I don't want to go back, because I've been to the promised land and had to go back before. It's almost like you get out of jail and you're going back in. Yeah.
The thing is, in your brain though, even like the story you were telling about the Senor Chili's is like you still want to eat the food.
Oh yeah.
So what happens when the brakes are gone?
Yeah.
Right? Like eventually your stomach is going to re-expand. Mm-hmm. Slowly, but it's going to happen. Just like me, like, I don't get the full signal anymore. I don't get that you're going to throw up feeling anymore. So my stop sign is gone.
Yeah.
Now, I can hear the listeners that aren't listening telling me something like, well, if you know that you don't want to gain the weight, shouldn't that be more the motivator to not eat than to eat? And yes, 100% sure. Yes, I agree. And yes, willpower would help, but if I had willpower, I wouldn't have needed the GLP-1 in the first place. You know what I mean? Like that want doesn't overpower whatever brain signal I got going on in the moment with like a stack of Ritz crackers and cheese. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The GLP-1 says you can have 4 crackers and cheese and then you can't eat anymore. Well, without the GLP-1, you don't have that signal to say you've had enough. So it's almost like you go into a fight with someone with 2 hands and 2 feet, and you're going in with 1 hand and 1 foot. That's the fight.
Sure.
And so, yes, I will probably go back on the GLP-1. Does that mean I'm going to have to go on it forever? And that was one of the questions we had talked about when I first went on it. And I was like, well, I don't know. Well, it's looking like probably I might have to be on it for an extended period of time. And this shit ain't fucking cheap.
Right.
Now, remind me to talk about Trump RX, by the way.
Okay.
Because that went live. That's the one where, like, we're supposed to pay the best pricing in the world on drugs.
Yes.
So I went on there the other day. But we'll get back to that in a minute. So, this drug, now we found an alternative. So I think we pay about $500, but it's $500, but it lasts about 2 months, 2.5 months. I don't know if it's legal, but I don't give a shit. I mean, someone's selling it. It's not on the black market. Like, I'm getting it through a legit source. So I imagine they found some loophole. So it's compounded. So they don't use the original formula. Like, the active drug is the drug, but they combine it with something else. So this person, like, these people combine it with, like, vitamin B6, whereas, like, Eli Lilly does tirzepatide with some other binder. Right? It's the binder. It's what gets it into the system. Unfortunately for me, B6 makes me feel like I'm gonna fucking ready to run through a brick wall. It's like, because vitamin B gives you energy, right? Some people are more receptive to it than others, but like for me, it's like I take a vitamin B pill in the morning. That's my vitamin ritual. It's like B12, B6, B3, a whole bunch of B vitamins. It's basically, it's what the baseball player Rafael Palmeiro got in trouble for injecting B12 into his ass. They consider it a performance enhancing drug.
Yeah.
It's basically just, it gives you energy. That's what vitamin B is.
My wife actually had it. It was to inject, and it was this. I think it was even like this red fluid that she'd pull and inject. The doctor gave it to her to treat. I don't know what it was to treat, but yeah, I'm not sure. And I've taken the vitamin B gummies, and now I just take I got it from Amazon. It's just a 1 a day.
Yeah.
You eat 2 gummies, and it's funny because people are complaining that they're sour. Well, I love like Sour Patch Kids. I'm like, oh, these are good. I could eat the whole
right.
jar of them.
Yeah.
But
so, for me, I guess I'm just super sensitive. So, like, because I was taking it at night to, like, limit the nausea part of it, well, it was keeping me awake.
Right.
And it would actually give me, like, the jitters. So it was really, I was like, ooh, okay, maybe I need to take this in the morning and not take my vitamin B pill at the same time, right?
Yeah.
So
and not drink a cup of coffee with it.
Well, so, like, if I took 2 vitamin B pills, like, so initially the doctor was like, take 2 vitamin B pills. And so I did. I was like, man, I feel really jittery on this. He's like, okay, just cut it back to 1. So I think I might be super sensitive to vitamin B in general. But beside the point. So when I end up so we've been able to lower the cost basically, because with Eli Lilly it was like 4 doses for like $400 or $300 or something like that. Well, this is $500 for roughly 1.5 times. So 2.5 times. I don't know what the calculation. Basically, instead of 1 month, you get 2.5 months.
Okay.
I think that's 2.5. Mathematicians out there, correct me. So the price of it, we were able to work the price down. Now the other part of it is, when I go back on, it's probably going to be the low dose again. And to be honest with you, I don't think I would want to go above the dose I was already on, which was the second lowest one. But who knows? I mean, I'm not a doctor, so. By the way, this is not professional medical advice.
Yeah.
This is feelings only, no facts. So, anyway, consult with your doctor about health issues. Okay, make sure you get that disclaimer
Sure.
out of the way. Yeah, 29 minutes in, we got the disclaimer out of the way.
It's there.
It's there. So all right. So I'm trying to fix my head, which good luck with that. And hopefully, like the reason why I need to get this fixed is because I need to be able to drive.
Sure. And the bridges are important because we live on a peninsula.
Yes. Well, and that's the thing. Like, if I need doctors are in Annapolis, good food is in Annapolis. I mean, there's shit in Annapolis we got to do.
Yeah.
Now, luckily, if I had to, I can always I can get over the Naval Academy Bridge. That one seems to be doable. And I think part of it is like it's got to do with speed, escapability, and crowdedness. So, like the Severn Bridge is more crowded. It's 3 sort of tight lanes.
Yep.
Whereas the Naval Bridge is it's only 2 lanes in each direction.
And it's got a wide shoulder.
But it's got a very wide shoulder, and then it's got extra room on the side for walking path. Mm-hmm. It's much like you're not sitting on the edge. Now, so when I go over the Severn Bridge, I'm normally in the left lane, and that way if the edges are a problem, I'm not looking over them. I've got far enough away from them. But then you've got the speed. And then, of course, the Yukon isn't exactly the most stable thing on Earth.
Right.
There's a lot of bouncy going on. Mm-hmm. A lot of play in the steering wheel and all that, whatever. There's so many variables to this thing. Who knows what the fuck's going to happen. But I need to be able to get over that bridge. And the funny part is I was talking to the therapist about it. I was like, look, he goes, well, what's your goal? I said, my goal is to be able to go over those 2 bridges without any physical feelings of freaking out. Mm-hmm. He goes, well, what about other bridges? I said, don't give a shit. I said, any other bridge, if I'm going that kind of distance, I got to be honest with you, someone else can always drive. Like when we went on our golf trip to Williamsburg, I didn't drive. Mm-hmm. I sat in the back seat and just chilled.
Yeah. I didn't have an issue?
No issue. And that's the thing. If someone else was driving, you can go over whatever bridge you want.
Yeah.
Like, do I get a twinge? Sure. But the problem is when I'm in control of the car, then the hyperventilation starts. Like if I go over the Bay Bridge, it's a fucking shit show. Like I'm white knuckled on the steering wheel, hyperventilating, feeling like you're gonna pass out. Like it's all that shit. But that was more common. A lot of people get that feeling.
I mean, I don't have any issues with bridges at all. And when I go over the Bay Bridge is high.
Yeah.
Especially the westbound span, where it doesn't have the concrete Jersey wall barriers. It's got the metal ones that you can see directly through.
Yeah.
And it's like a little ribbon of steel keeping you from plunging into oblivion. So, no, I get the bridge part. Because it's like that's a high, long bridge. It doesn't help that the ship ran into the Key Bridge, a year and a half ago and almost 2 years ago. And that, like, oh, there's a big ship down there.
Dude, I almost shit my pants when I was going over that Bay Bridge before all this stuff started, and a bridge was going underneath as we're going over it, and dude, you see how close those ships get to the bridge.
Yep.
Just the height. I was like, oh my god, dude! I was on. So it was funny. So I was on one of the cruise ships a long time ago, and we went under the Bay Bridge, and I was on the deck.
It feels like you reach up and touch it.
I'm like, dude, we're going to hit the bridge.
Yeah.
I was telling my wife, I was like, sure, we're going to hit the bridge.
And you look at, like, the mast that has all the radar dish, like, and you see that, and you're like, it's going to hit. And it doesn't. There's plenty of clearance, but...
Well, plenty is not... let's not just throw words out.
But, yeah, we took a cruise out of Baltimore, and, of course, we all went up to... Like, everyone went up to the top deck to go under the bridge. Everyone wanted to get as high as they could. And you're like, well, it really looks like you're going to hit it. So yeah, and when you're seeing one come under, like, damn, look at this thing. That's close.
Yeah. So I've been dealing with that bullshit. Hopefully this kind of gets sorted out. My worry is I'm going to do all this shit focusing on the autonomic nervous system, and if that's not it, I got to start from square zero again. I'm like, fuck, man. Like, this has been... Because this started in August.
Yeah.
And so the funny part, my wife and the therapist, they both were like, well, how are you doing? And I'm like, look, if I'm being honest, I'm fatigued. Like, every day you wake up thinking about it. Because it's such an important life skill. So you just keep thinking about it.
It's not like we live in Manhattan,
Right.
where you could be carless and just take trains and buses everywhere. Like, you can't do that here. You know, the closest public transportation to us is, I guess, the Jones Station commuter lot there. Jones Station Road.
For the buses, yeah. The park and ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Annapolis has, but nothing comes out here.
No. Like, if I were to go back into DC for work, I'd probably take one of those buses. But then I'd be on the bus schedule, and then I gotta be around gross people. It would be definitely life altering, especially when you got two kids that are in activities, right?
Yeah.
So then it's like, okay, now you're basing who's driving who based on where the activity is. Whereas if I can just conquer those two bridges, most everything is back in play, right? There's a few things where I'll have to, like, my wife will drive or whatever, and she doesn't care. Mm-hmm. Like, the dynamic was I would drive and she would always be the passenger, but she doesn't care. She's fine driving. Like, if we got to go to Frederick or something, sometimes, like, so lately, like, I've always been like, nope, I'm gonna do it. And I would go, and then probably about halfway there, I'd be like, I gotta stop, because those long straight stretches would get me with nothing. Like, it's almost like you're driving, you feel like you're moving, but you feel like you're not going anywhere. Like, you feel it's almost like you're running on a treadmill, and you're just not getting anywhere. And that's it. But, like, as I'm describing these things to the doctor, he's like, this definitely sounds like a migraine issue. So, like, he doesn't have a doubt in his mind that this is what this is now. It took us a while to get to that point, but he seems pretty confident that we're at least in the ballpark of a diagnosis. Now, the treatment, we might have to adjust some things, but he feels like we're at least we're in the right avenue now. Whereas before, it was like, okay, we're going to remove some drugs to see if some of the drugs adversely affected you. And now the other issue is, do I still have the IBS? Oddly enough, yes, but not as bad as it used to be. And he's like, basically he said the nortriptyline should help with that. So essentially you have two nervous systems. You have your autonomic nervous system, which is more in your head, and you have your enteric nervous system, which is more in your gut. But the autonomic nervous system affects the enteric nervous system. So by treating the autonomic one, I'm just going to say ANS and ENS from now on, because that's a lot of words to say. So when you treat the ANS, it also affects the ENS. And it's sort of vice versa, but not as much. And so we may still end up using a drug for the ENS system, which is there's one called Viberzi, which is newer than Lamodal, but Viberzi stays in the gut, whereas Lamodal goes through the system and can break the blood-brain barrier, whereas Viberzi stays in the gut and does not break the blood-brain barrier, so anticholinergic effect is not a thing with that. However, it's like you have to have a gallbladder, your pancreas has to work properly, so we have to do some blood work before I go on that. So basically, I don't even know if I'd be removing drugs. It would basically just be redoing the drugs that I'm on. But this kind of goes back to what my father-in-law was dealing with. It's like having someone looking at your entire drug portfolio is very important, especially if you're diagnosing something new.
Yeah.
And so it's almost like having someone to do that. And we had talked about having like a care manager in a prior episode.
Yeah.
I think that's where I kind of went on my rant about this whole thing to begin with. And apparently through our insurance company, they offer that service. It's like a registered nurse who basically looks at everything.
Okay.
And will kind of coordinate all your appointments and your. So I'm probably going to try and take advantage of that. The problem is I'm very skeptical. So I'm like, well, are you really doing the job properly? Because in all honesty, I've been using. This is going to sound awful, and this is where that episode we did called Dr. ChatGPT. I got to be honest. Like, I've got a running conversation there about this whole thing, and it's been very helpful as far as, one, keeping track of the dose that I'm on, tracking testing as far as whether it works or not. Like, it's actually helping me. It's like, hey, don't try anything before day 14 because if you have a bad experience, it only makes it worse. Like, you want to make sure you try it after the dose is at therapeutic effect. Like, this is all coming from a fucking computer.
Right.
But it's been very, very helpful. Now, could it be wrong? Sure. And I wouldn't know.
Skynet could make a mistake.
But the doctors have pretty much backed up everything it's said so far. So I feel like that's been more of my care coordinator. Now, do I want to put that in the hands of a human? Like, and that we could talk about AI. Like, do you trust AI to do certain things in your life? It's like,
Yeah. The thing is, like, all these drugs, everybody knows, like, they should all know, like, it's all, like, they should know, like, what they don't mix with, how they affect each other.
yeah.
So it shouldn't be that hard to do, right? Like, if you were able to go and look at your father-in-law's meds, excuse me.
We both got a little something.
Yeah.
I got something in my nose. You got something in your chest.
Yep. If you were to look at your father-in-law's meds, and just you as the non-medical professional go and say, and me the same thing with my father-in-law's stuff, and be like, and look at it and identify ones that are doing the same thing, that are redundant, that are not contraindicated, blah blah blah. Like, you should be able to, if we can do that, AI should be able to do that, because AI is just getting it from the same places that we're getting it from. So it shouldn't be that hard to do, and how it's not automatically built into this system, into these different charting systems that we've talked about, how they're not in there is almost to be shocking. Like, why aren't they cross-checking one another? But, like, when they go to prescribe you something, why isn't it built in to say, hey, you're already on something that does this. Why are we putting this other one on top? And then the patient, unless they get an instant relief from whatever their symptom is, they're just going to trust the doctor. So, which I also think is much more prevalent with, like, our parents' generation than us. They trust the doctor, whereas I don't trust anybody. So, the conspiracy theorist or skeptic in me looks at it and says, oh, I know why they don't want to do that. Because then if you're on drug A, which treats symptom X, and they put you on, you come in complaining about symptom X again, they say, oh, try this drug. Let's put you on drug B, which also treats symptom X. If the system were to flag it, you're no longer buying drug A.
Right.
Or you're not going to buy drug B. And their ultimate goal is to sell you drugs A, B, C, D, all of them. So the more you're on, so that system is going to cut into their profits. And they don't want that. So that's where I ultimately think that this leads. It's not leading to patient care because they don't give a fuck about you. You are an income stream. You're a revenue stream. And you're different revenue streams at different points of your life to different people. When you're young, you're a revenue stream you're always a revenue stream to the orthopedists, because when my youngest was 3, he broke his femur. Orthopedist got hooked up on that one. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong. Like, yeah, he need to get his femur fixed.
Right,
like,
yeah.
It's critical. The other one would be, then when you get a little bit older, it becomes other things. When you start starting families, then it's the OBGYN stuff, which for women lasts the whole time, but then you've got the specific thing for little kids, and as a person gets older, it's just different revenue streams. They don't want to turn those off. So essentially, your revenue stream until you die, and I think it's set up to do that, to just keep bringing money in, and as long as that profit motive is there, why would they turn that off? If I can sell you 2 different things that do the same thing, you're not going to question it, and you're just going to pay for it, and because your insurance is taking care of it, like what? You're not noticing that cost out of pocket.
Yeah, and I think it's important to differentiate some things here. Do I think doctors, when they see a patient, they're thinking dollar sign, dollar sign, dollar sign?
I don't think doctors, no.
So I don't think doctors do. I think, like, pharmaceutical reps, when they go see a doctor, and they're giving out, like, samples and stuff like that, I think that, yeah, they're like, they want the drug in the patient's hands. And the doctor is saying, okay, well, I'm trusting this pharmaceutical rep to have the right information that they're giving me so that I can use it for my patients. And like, when you're a doctor, your day, in order for you to make money, which everyone who's in business for themselves is out to make money. This is not anti-capitalism.
No.
But it's, your day is basically back to back to back to back to back patients. It's not like you have a bunch of additional time to fact check what a drug is and isn't doing. You're trusting, okay, you probably have a list saying, okay, for this symptom, I got these drugs, this one, I got this one. Or you put it into a system and say, autonomic nervous system. Okay, atriptyline, nortriptyline. Those are the two. You know? Like, you don't also, like, there could be, like, number 3 and number 4, and you're not like, well, I can make more money off of this one. It's like, no, you just, this is what I've been told helps these things. This is what I'm going to prescribe. And I've got to do it quick because I got another patient here in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And so, like, you see what I'm saying? Like, their focus is on the patient, not on having to figure out which drug is actually good for this, that, or that. Like, now some of them go to conferences and they try and learn more about it and whatnot, but for the most part, their moneymaker is seeing patients. Mm-hmm. And so, I don't put, like, it's funny, like, where would you change it? And to be honest, where I would want to change it is in the overarching software of when you get put on a drug, it goes into a central database that can flag when there's contradictions, that can flag when you're on 2 drugs that do the same thing. Mm-hmm. When it flags, hey, this might not be the best drug to put this person on. Like, even in that point, like the database, the system, whoever's doing the research and putting information into that system. Now, hopefully they're not corrupt either, right? Hopefully they're not bought and paid for by a Pfizer who's not going to recommend a Merck drug.
Yeah.
Like, it was fun. Like, when we went on the GLP-1s, everyone wanted to go on Wegovy and Ozempic, which is semaglutide. Well, there was data out there that said tirzepatide actually helped more people lose more weight. So, in my opinion, it's like, why would you even put someone on semaglutide when you know tirzepatide has less side effects and helps people lose more weight, right? It's clearly the better of the two. And the only reason why you would go on a semaglutide is if tirzepatide didn't work, right? So that's why I would rank it like first, second, third, fourth, and some unbiased computer system, hopefully, would make that determination. So the doctor could put in there weight loss. Just types in weight loss, and these are the drugs that come up. Fen-phen would be on there, which has been removed. The one that would blow people's hearts up, that's gone. Yep. But there was also like 30 other different drugs, but it would rank based on data which ones were more effective, right? Tirzepatide helps patients lose 20% of their body weight. Semaglutide helps patients lose 18% of their body weight. So tirzepatide goes to the top. It's more effective, right? Like, that would be an ideal system, but you would need an ideal input into the system, not biased, right? But that way the doctor doesn't have to do all that extra work. They don't have to rely on one pharmaceutical rep versus another, giving them information that they're like, well, this person, I mean, obviously that's a salesperson, but the data's the data, right? They can't give me false information. That would be illegal. Okay, but they could emphasize certain things over, there's different ways to make, to sell things, right? So, there's got to be some kind of, there's got to be some kind of solution here. Like, even like a symptom checker, you put in, okay, this symptom, this symptom, this symptom, this, and it just puts out, okay, this is probably what's going on, and this is the drug for it. That's it. I mean, the doctor is a doctor. They went to medical school. They know the internals. Like, it's a good first filter.
Sure.
But once you're in the doctor, once you're the doctor in the doctor's office in the practice, how much time do you really have to research the new things that have come out?
Not much.
Right.
And the research you're getting is from the pharmaceutical reps that are coming in your office.
Or you're looking at, or you happen to have like a keyword search query on like the NIH website, but you got to hope the NIH is putting the right information. You know, you got to hope the NIH is not putting in Pfizer information.
Right. Not bought and paid for.
Right. Safe and effective.
Right.
Not bought and paid for.
Right.
Right. And we already know that the FDA was using the pharmaceutical company data, and they weren't using double blind. The gold standard is double blind tests, and they weren't using it.
No.
And so I feel like AI is going to disrupt a lot of industries, and I think the medical field is one of them. And the ones that adjust and adapt to it are going to be, there's going to be two different tiers of doctors. Now I just don't blame the doctors though, because it's like, I would like if I was an accountant and the board of accountants said this is the new rule, I'm going to follow it, because I'm too busy doing taxes,
Right.
to follow up on this shit. It's like the frontline person. You're the one dealing with the patients. You're the one dealing with the person that needs their taxes done. You're the one dealing with the person that needs the lawn mowed or whatever. I'm not going to be up to date on all the new lawn mowers.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm this one works, I'm going to use it.
Yeah.
You know,
and you're going to go back to your experience and say, hey, I had this guy this other dude had a similar issue, and this is what worked for him. So let's try that one out. And there is a certain bit of experimentation. Like you're going through it right now with it. You know, trying this, let's eliminate that. Let's figure out, get down to the root cause. So like the process is, it's doing its thing. It's just taking a while. But when you go back in, like, so I'm on 3 different medicines, and pretty much it's for blood pressure and acid reflux. That's it. So, however, when I go to the doc, like the last time I went for a checkup in December, doctor sits down and says, are you still on this? There were things in there, medication-wise, that was from when I had my biceps tendon repaired. So like, oh, are you still taking OxyContin? No. I've gone in myself and tried to get rid of them.
You can't do it.
Through the express, through the pharmacy, Express Scripts app that I have, and then through my chart. No, I don't take these anymore.
Can't do it though.
They're still there.
A doctor has to remove them.
Yeah, and
I tried doing that in my chart.
The doctor's done it, and I go to a different doctor, and it's still there.
Yeah.
Are you still taking this? No. Why is that in there?
Right.
Back many years ago when I took Lexapro, like I stopped taking that. It's still there.
Right.
And I think they want it to be there. I think it's again, the skeptic in me is like, oh, they want it. They just want me to fill that. I'll fill all of them, whether I take them or not. I come back with this bucket. If you come back from either a hospital stay or surgery, you've got a bag full of medicine that they give to you. So, what's the incentive to get rid of it if there's a chance you might buy it again?
Well, and for the hospital, every single one of those drugs in the bag, they're getting paid for.
Yeah.
Whether you use it or not.
Yep.
And you can't return it.
Yeah, it's yours.
Right. It's not like, I'd like to return this OxyContin, please.
Yeah.
Well, we can't take it back. Well, why not? You shouldn't have given it to me in the first place.
And I never...
Because we don't know if it's been messed with.
Yeah. And for me, I've never taken, the biceps tendon. I never took the narcotic painkillers. Never took any of them. I've been prescribed it a couple times in my life. One was for a tooth I had pulled, some other things. The only time I took it was for that, and it just put me to sleep. So then, the next day, the tooth, the area where the tooth was removed was hurting. So I'm like, it's not bad enough. I don't want to take it. Not if it gets bad, because I had a limited supply. I didn't want to waste them. Mm-hmm. Well, then eventually, my pain tolerance was such that I could handle it with just ibuprofen, and then not have to take it. So, biceps tendon, when I had the gastric sleeve done, I just didn't take them.
Yeah.
I didn't want them. So, because I'm like, the pain's not that bad, I'm going to try to not deal with it. And one time I went to the dentist, he's like, why aren't you in here? You should be screaming in pain right now. I'm like, yeah, it hurts a little bit. So, I don't know, maybe it's me, like, not to flex or anything, but either I have a decent pain tolerance, or it doesn't bother me the same way it bothers somebody else.
I'll deflex. I have the dentist, when the hygienist is doing my teeth, I ever put on the numbing cream.
Yeah.
I won't feel shit.
Right.
Like, give me all the numbing cream before you clean my teeth. Mm-hmm. I hate that fucking pick.
I have a
Scratch, 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 scratch. Ah.
dental phobe, I guess. And I have. It's funny. We have a good friend who's a dentist, and then another dude who was on one of my oldest baseball teams. He's a dentist, and then my neighbor's a dentist. Like, I'm surrounded by dentists, and I'm terrified of them.
Like, oh, and they're all like, "Oh, it'll be fine. It'll be great."
Yeah, like, no, it's not.
Like, I know you. Like, look, I know you're good at what you do.
Yeah,
It's me, not you.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. Like, trust me, I get it. You're really good at what you do. I just don't like for me. It's the noise. It's that metal on tooth sound.
yeah. And it's the vibe, and then the smell
Oh,
when that drill starts cooking off.
So I had a crown put on the other day, and so he was doing the temporary one. Mm-hmm. Actually, no. He's putting on the permanent one, and he's like, as he's grinding the porcelain down, or he was grinding the stump of the tooth so he could put the permanent on, and I could smell like burning something.
Yeah,
I'm like, that's me.
I'm on fire.
I'm burning. You're burning me up. And then like I could feel like chunks of stuff flying. I'm like, oh my god, this is chunks of me.
Yeah,
And so I was like, oh, this sucks. But
yeah. I'm not a big. I don't think anyone's like, oh, I can't wait to go to the dentist. But my kids are actually really good at it.
my kids love the dentist, dude. I don't know.
My oldest just had 9 baby teeth pulled. Yeah, because he needs braces, and his baby teeth just aren't. He just turned 14, and his baby teeth aren't going anywhere. So they said, we're going to pull them out so that adult teeth can come in, so we can see what we're working with. Because until we do that, we don't want him to be in college with braces. So, yeah, he's doing all right. But I went with him, and he didn't wince at all. Now, baby teeth don't have the same root systems that adult teeth have. They're much different. But yeah, he took it like a champ.
You telling me he did that made me wince. I don't think I'll do. I gotta feel like in my old age, like, dude, I would take a 90-mile-an-hour lacrosse ball to my leg and shake it off like nothing.
Oh,
Now, I think about going to the dentist and I quiver in pain.
Mm-hmm.
Like, ooh,
Yeah.
ooh. Like my tolerance for inconvenience and or slight discomfort has gone way down.
yeah. It's funny because like the older you get, I've been thinking about death a lot, which is morbid, and I had to go to a lot of funerals, and it's very strange because you remember when you're getting married and you're sitting there and you're talking about. When you're getting married and you go to a bunch of weddings, because everyone's getting married in your friend group at the same time, and you're planning your own wedding. I found myself seeing these funerals, planning my own funeral. And I'm like, this is more. I got to stop doing it. So I didn't go to a bunch of them because I'm like, I got to get out of this space.
Yep.
Anyway, I'm not afraid of death. I'm afraid of hurting. You know, does like it's going to come. I get it eventually. But I just don't want to hurt.
Yeah.
And any minor ache and pain, I'm thinking, because I'm anxiety driven anyway. I'm thinking, oh, is that cancer? Is that this? Is that that? And I think, well, I don't want to like just make it like that. You know, don't make it like some long drawn out process.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, that could be a whole episode on its
Yeah.
own. Because like I've got the same fear, not necessarily of the death part, especially if it's quick.
Yeah.
And I'll feel it.
Yeah.
Just gone. Just lights out. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be the burden on somebody.
No.
Like, I don't want someone to have to, like, basically put their life on hold while they're waiting for me to die.
Right.
Even though they don't want me to die.
Yeah.
And then I don't want to be the one where someone's got to, like, walk me to the bathroom. Mm-hmm. Or get me out of bed.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a burden on somebody else. And the funny part, like, the people that love you don't see it that way.
No.
They want you to be around as long as possible, and they're willing to do whatever. But yeah, that is a whole nother level of anxiety that that's another episode.
Yeah. That's not something you bring up at minute 58.
No,
of an hour-long podcast.
No. But I think we probably talked enough about this one. nice uplifting episode.
Sure.
Thank you to Adam Chubbuck from Douglas Realty. But we have not exactly been having happy topics for this dude to be sponsoring episodes. But hey, you know what? He sponsored us anyway. So thank you to Adam Chubbuck, TechMD.com. That's TACMD.com. If you are in need of a real estate agent or just real estate advice in general. He also has great connections in the mortgage industry. So if you are in need of anything real estate or mortgage related, go to TACMD.com and schedule an appointment with Adam, and we'll see you next week.